Hey guys, I'm the Great Jedi and welcome back to the channel. Now today, I got some information for you guys regarding Star Wars Eclipse, but I will say this stuff that I'm talking about in this video is leaked and not confirmed, but you guys already know that I report on leaked stuff only if I think it has any truth to it. And I gotta say, I do believe this guy because what he says is adding up. And I do have a perfect track record when it comes to leaks on the channel so far, but even if you don't want to hear the leaked stuff and you just want to hear all the confirmed info that we know of, then feel free to check out my last Star Wars Eclipse video that goes over all the confirmed stuff that we know up to this point. The link's in the description. But let me tell you guys why I believe this leak is true. And that's because this guy, ACCNGT, has predicted the Star Wars Eclipse game and its reveal way before it actually came out, all the way back a month before in November. So I do believe he has an inside source. Now, you guys may be wondering, but what do you mean, Gray? You even predicted a Star Wars game that would be revealed. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't have any specifics like this guy did. And I was just reading the signs that pointed in that direction. Now let me show you guys some of the specifics that he called out. Before the reveal, this guy revealed the actual title, when the reveal was actually going to happen, what they were going to reveal, and he even leaked a screenshot from that cinematic reveal trailer. So if that doesn't scream legit in your face, I'm not so sure what will. So with that said, let's dive right into some of the information that he also said about the game. So he says it's going to be an action-adventure game. It's going to be based on interactive storytelling, open world. Quantum Dream is very involved. It's going to be next-gen only. Has multiplayer elements, competitive, which actually sounds very, very interesting. Ambitious and original project. And I gotta say, it really does sound like it. Traditional action gameplay. Playtesting in progress, or about to start. It's rather advanced development, a non-linear storyline, which is always nice to hear. It's a little bit different. The development of this game is complicated. Many engine features and tools has to be added / modified / extended, and it's not far from the announcement. Obviously, he predicted this beforehand, and we already got the announcement. And the teaser is being worked on Quantum Dream and the unit image, which obviously we already got. The development started about 1.5 years ago. It's an in-house game engine, and there's more playable characters than any other Quantum Dream game. So that's always nice to hear as well. So as we can see here, there's a lot of information that is presented to us. And I gotta say, there's just two things in particular that really stand out. I mean, obviously, everything kind of stands out. But the two big things for me is one, where it says open world, which is, exactly what I was thinking and was wanting. And the other thing was multiplayer elements competitive. So this is very interesting and kind of what I was wanting in my dream Star Wars game, because they're wanting to have a full out, fleshed out, open world single player experience, it seems like, with multiple different playable characters and a competitive multiplayer. That sounds really fun, don't get me wrong, but that's a lot for a game. And this was all said before this game was even revealed, so obviously we got some of this information from the confirmed source, so what he actually says adds up, and it's sounding more and more like my dream Star Wars game. But anyways, let's continue with what else he said. And this guy was cool enough to do his own Q&A on Twitter to share the information that he knows. So here's some of the questions and answers that he gave. Someone asked, will there be multiple planets in the open world of Eclipse? He goes ahead and replies by saying, of course. And then he says, are there any info on the open world activities yet? And he said it's still very early in production. So there you guys go. And he also goes ahead and asks another question saying, fair enough. Now, the two final questions for today, will you unlock skills / moves throughout the campaign? And can you give us an estimation on how many people are working on this game? And he actually goes ahead and responds to this by saying probably, to obviously the first part. And then for the second question, he goes ahead and says that, there's 200 employees in Quantum Dream Paris, and then another 20 to 30 employees plus outsourcing as well. And ACCNGT also wants to clarify there and also wants to put in like, hey, these people are working on this and these people are working on this. So he goes ahead and says Quantum Dream Paris is working on creative stuff, so like motion capture, narrative, level art, all that good stuff, right? While some of the other ones are working on level design, gameplay, and then the actual multiplayer. And one of the goals is to keep the narrative and to have memorable action scenes. So like I said, you know, this sounds like it's going to be a very big game with a full out, fleshed out, you know, single player campaign that is open world, and also a competitive multiplayer. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. He also says that Star Wars Eclipse will be coming to the PlayStation 5, the Xbox, and PC. So basically, all the platforms, as long as it's next gen. And someone else asked him, when you say traditional action gameplay, should we expect gameplay more like Detroit Become Human, or action gameplay like normal third-person open world games? And he responded by saying something like Jedi Fallen Order, which is something I am extremely happy to hear, just because I mean, I personally never played Detroit Become Human, but that's mainly because the gameplay did not look interesting to me. So the fact that they're actually trying something new and not going that route with the gameplay really sounds nice. And then he actually follows up by saying, when I say like Jedi Fallen Order, it's for the combat. So that right there just makes me feel a little bit better. Obviously, this is not confirmed, but you know, I do believe that what he is saying, at least as of right now in this stage of development, this is what's going on. And while we're talking about gameplay, he also said that one of the inspirations is The Last of Us, and that is one of the games I have played, and I really did enjoy The Last of Us gameplay. So if they kind of have a mix between The Last of Us and Fallen Order, I think I'm really going to enjoy the gameplay. And it seems like I'm already going to enjoy the story, and they're also going to have a multiplayer that's competitive. I know I keep repeating those two things, but I mean, that's kind of what we all dream of, don't we? But to further explain what he says about The Last of Us gameplay, he says that we can expect gameplay like The Last of Us, a mix of story and also a mix of action gameplay. And then he also retweeted Tom Henderson's tweet here. So if you guys don't know Tom Henderson, feel free to check out like one of my older Star Wars news update videos. I've kind of already talked about him and how he's a reliable source. And he even says that, you know, this game is being written by Quantum Dream Paris. You know, David Cage is very much involved, and I'll get to why he is saying that in just a second here. He also says here that Eclipse is believed to be around 3 to 4 years away minimum, which sounds about right for as big as this game is going to be, or at least the way it sounds, which does line up with the licensing with Star Wars, you know, because right now EA has an exclusive license, doesn't end until 2023, so this does line up, at least minimum wise. This will be right around the competition. Back when I predicted 23 to 2024 is probably going to be the earliest that we do get to see a lot of these Star Wars games. So this might be one of the later ones, but also one of the more developed ones, especially since this game has been in the works for about a year to a year and a half. Now, the third thing he says is that Quantum Dream Paris is currently struggling with hiring staff. That's also true. You can look all over online and you can see that they're trying to hire, and he puts in, you know, parentheses, I wonder why. I'm not going to get into the drama there. That's also why I said David Cage is very much involved, because there's some drama stuff going on around there that I'm not going to get into, but I'm sure you guys could just look it up if you're really interested in what's going on over there, and hopefully that doesn't hurt the game's development. You know, it's just one of those things that's up in the air. Kind of sad that this drama stuff kind of gets involved, but it is what it is. I feel bad for the developers that are trying to make this, you know, the best Star Wars game that they possibly could, and we'll just have to go from there. Now, with all this said, I wouldn't get your hopes up or anything, because this game has been worked on for a while, and it still won't be out for a while, so I'm not sure that everything he says here will actually be there at launch. In fact, I doubt it, because this almost seems too good to be true, and most of the time when it sounds too good to be true, it typically is. So hopefully they're not biting on more than what they can chew, and then, you know, the game gets canceled. And I'm not saying that this guy is lying to us, because I don't think that's the case at all. In fact, I believe everything that he is saying, because it just lines up with everything we do know so far, and he also predicted this. But a lot of things change in the development process. Lots of things get scrapped and things change, especially this early on. I totally respect what these devs are trying to do a lot, and I do believe it will be successful if it ends up being as great as it sounds, but we'll just have to wait and see if it actually comes out that way, because typically it doesn't. History has shown that. I just wanted to present you guys with this information and possibly see what the devs are trying to do for us, and I gotta say, this sounds pretty cool. Like I said before, I wouldn't get your hopes up. I'm not going to get mine up, but this is still nice to see. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider giving it a like, only if you enjoyed, of course. And if you want to stay up on all the Star Wars news, including Star Wars Eclipse, then be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below. It's completely free and it helps out the channel. I'll catch you all later, and may the Force be with you always.